2 weeks ago, Sudbury Hall reopened its doors as the Children's Country House at Sudbury. In my previous video, I highlighted the controversial changes and shared the house's history. In this video, I will take you on a tour and look at the small changes already made since my last visit. Just off the path from the car park was this bright sign, which was eye-catching for all the wrong reasons. Their size and colour made them visible from the roadside as you passed, as well as being on land which is protected by the National Trust. There has been complaints from the locals as the sign was a mar upon the landscape. Now the sign is gone and the landscape restored. The first room you enter is the Great Hall, where immediately you are aware of the changes. In the centre is a sofa for you to sit and rest your head back and look up at a projection show. This pre-show is pointless as it offers nothing about the history of the house or the Great Hall. You will be greeted by a volunteer who tells you that the house was built by George Vernon and that it is still known as Sudbury Hall. Despite this claim, the website still has it officially as the Children's Country House at Sudbury. Also, you are told that this is a house for children. Once this pre-show is over, you are free to explore for yourself. From the Great Hall, you will come to the staircase, where it is only fair to say that over £70,000 was spent restoring them, as confirmed by this reply I had from Hilary McGrady, the Director General of the National Trust. She also says that everything else is removable and will change over time. Of course, the problem is not with the restoring of the stairs, as the National Trust has a duty to maintain their properties, as that is what it is all about. It is with the overlay which dumbs down history, in which people take issue. At the top of the stairs, if you pass through a door on your left, is the Great Stairhead Chamber, which was once the Queen's Room before the overlay was added. In this room, you'll find these boxes with a card game of I Spy for children. The boxes stick out like a sore thumb and don't fit in with the elegance of the room. Also, it can get very crowded in here due to the game, which could spoil your visit if you just simply want to look around. The hedgehogs around the house are placed on authentic furniture so that you know not to touch them. Once leaving the Great Stairhead Chamber, you'll come to this room, the Talbot Room, which now resembles more of a nursery, with its authentic furniture having been removed to make way for a child's rug depicting the world along with wooden boats. Original books have been taken away and replaced with modern ones, though the dangling origami boats and birds, some at least, have been removed. From the Talbot Room, you enter the long gallery, which is one of the finest in the country. Here you'll find portraits with speech bubbles below, which in some cases is offensive to suggest those in the portrait spoke in such terms. They stick out and quite simply look horrible, spoiling the majesty of the long gallery. Here are a few examples for you to make your own mind up. The blue toy boxes contain wooden toys and books about feminism, but none about masculinity, which poses the question of, is the National Trust sexist and have a dislike towards males? These books, like many of the others, are not historical and lean towards indoctrination rather than education, pushing a political message over that of Sudbury's real history. In the centre you'll find these beanbags which children sit and jump over. Also, there are tables for children to sit and play games. But most misfitting is this booth where children can pose for pictures, like the ones on display. As you can see, this booth blocks natural light and narrows space if you wish to see the paintings. This booth would probably be better in the Childhood Museum next door, rather than upsetting the elegance of the long gallery. From the long gallery you'll make your way back down the stairs to what is now the worst room, dubbed by children as the disco room. The saloon has now been ruined with disco balls, neon lights and modern music disguised as that of 1699. The paintings on the wall are hidden in the gloom and not easily seen, which is a crime to the house's heritage. There is a small wardrobe with outfits so children can dress up and dance about, run around and jump about. When I had my wedding in this room back in 2005, footwear had to be considered to protect the floor, which is understandable. But now the National Trust doesn't seem to mind as many children jump and stomp about, with volunteers even encouraging adults. Also, the large window has had its shutters closed, blocking out the beautiful view over the lake, just to enhance the disco lighting. You will also find clear plastic chairs that look awful. From what is now essentially the disco room, you come to the drawing room, which is now a lot less formal than it sounds. In place of historical furniture are tables for children to sit and colour. Also, the room focuses on a painting with a black child that has been enslaved, though there is no link between Sudbury and slavery. The lady in the painting is Anne Howard, and it was her sister Mary that married George Venables Vernon, the grandson of George Vernon for whom Sudbury Hall was built. There is no proof that a child existed, nor any that the Vernons were involved in the slave trade, something that is not made clear. From the drawing room you enter into the library, which has had its historical furniture and many of its books stripped away and placed into storage. In their place is modern books and chairs where children might sit and read, which is not a bad thing, but it is not connected to the real history of the house, which the National Trust was meant to protect. Since my last visit, a couple of the politically correct books are no longer on display. The problem with the library is that it teaches nothing about the house, nor the different periods of history when it was a functioning household. These modern books can be read anywhere, and perhaps it would have been better to present books that the children of the Vernons would have read. Not all rooms are open, and 3 from downstairs have been turned into an escape room. Lady Vernon's sitting room, Lord Vernon's study, and the small dining room are all part of this new feature, in which you are to solve a puzzle of who in the household is a spy.
Collect me now, but first I must warn you, you are in danger. You are all in danger. There is an enemy spy here at Sudbury. Yes, a real one, just like in the stories. I saw it all, but I'm the only one who knows who the spy is. But don't you dare to say, are you braver than me? You must find the spy and tell the police. Can I trust you? I've hidden the clues for you. First you must solve the puzzle. Good luck. I have to go now. Be careful. Goodbye.
There is no additional charge for the escape rooms, but you have to have a ticket with an allotted time, available as you enter Sudbury Hall. The sad thing now is that you have to do the escape room in order to have a look around, and again furniture has been removed and replaced with modern. Also, it has been said that the spy at Sudbury is a true story, based upon the diary of an evacuee who was there at the time, though this was not said to me. Local historians have disputed this and claim that is an outright falsehood. My personal opinion is it's perhaps better to drop the escape room theme and go back to just letting people wander around and having a look to get a feel for history. The below stairs section of the house is split into three categories: the past, present and future. The kitchen is the past and offers children a chance to cut shapes out of Play-Doh and show what food is kept in cupboards, with stuffed vegetables and wooden eggs which look better suited to a nursery than that of a stately home. The cellar is the present, which we can all currently see what state the house is in. Then we come to the future, where you'll find Lego bricks, wooden blocks and a playmat for children. Also, there's a chance for children to have a say on what they would like to see for the house going forward. My suggestion is that they may as well have a slide coming out of a window for an exit. The National Trust has said these changes are to be unique to Sudbury, making the house one of a kind. But Sudbury already was, as are each of the National Trust properties. The changes teach nothing about the house, nor the Vernon family, nor of the wider estate and those that work the land. The idea of engaging children in history is fantastic, and I fully support it, but the only engagement currently are modern, like the books and disco room where you can run wild. For me, the good idea of engaging children has been executed poorly, by removing real history and replacing it with things that can be seen and played with in a nursery. This waters down Sudbury's prestige and uniqueness. In short, the changes made entertain children, not educate them, and Sudbury's true history has been diminished and barely mentioned, if even mentioned at all. I hope the National Trust returns Sudbury to its true self, losing the overlay and opening more than just weekends. If you have small children, they will love it, but if you are interested in stately homes and their history, I'd go elsewhere. For sadly, Sudbury is currently nothing more than a politically correct playground.